Hey again, CK. This is Brent, and today I'm making root beer. Yep, actual root beer soda. It's actually a lot easier than you might think. All you need are a 2-liter bottle that's been cleaned out, nice and clean, some sugar, some yeast, and some root beer extract. This is actually Zatarain's root beer extract. You can find this online for about $1.80 a bottle. And you also need some water. I'm going to assume that you have some of that laying around. So here's how we do it. Put a funnel on top there. And we're going to start by putting in 2 cups of sugar. Now, a cup is enough to cause the carbonation that you want, but it's not going to make very sweet root beer. It's going to be a very, almost a bitter root beer. So I'm experimenting with 2 cups here. You could probably go down to a cup and a half, but you could certainly do just this much. You pour that in. For those of you who prefer cooking by weight, which is a very good way of cooking, using a scale, 1 cup of sugar is 200 grams. So you'll get this much more exact if you measure by weight with a scale, and you'll want to use between 300 and 400 grams of sugar. Today I'm using, 2 cups, which would be 400 grams of sugar. And I'm going to let that go in. One of the other nice things about using a scale is you can just pour everything into the funnel, even if the funnel isn't pouring everything out, and the weight will still be correct. Doesn't matter if it's up here and pouring or not, it will all still register as the same value. So I've got 2 cups of sugar in there now. Now I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of yeast right in there. Okay, and I'm going to swirl all that around. I want that to be nice and completely incorporated all the way in there. There we go. Put this back on there. Now I'm going to add my root beer extract. 1 full tablespoon of root beer extract. Very easy. It smells like root beer. It's wonderful. Pour that right in there. Now, I'm going to show you what that looks like. You can see there's a bunch of root beer extract down there at the bottom that's kind of all gunky. That's good, actually. What I want to do now is pour enough water in there to fill up this about halfway, then I'll swirl it all around to get it all nice and incorporated. So I'm just going to eyeball this, and actually I'm going to pour it into the tablespoon as well, so I'm clearing out every bit of that extract from the tablespoon. Let that pour into the funnel, and pour in a bit more water. And again, I'm eyeballing this, pouring in about halfway full of water. That's good enough. Now you'll notice, when you do this, there's still a bunch of sugar at the bottom that isn't incorporated yet. That's what this step is for. What I need to do now is grab my cap. Check, forgot to get out. There. Grab my cap, and then we're going to mix this up nice and fully. It's going to require quite a bit of pushing around. Don't worry, the carbonation hasn't started yet, or if so, there's only a tiny itty bit of it. So you can swash this around, it's not going to go crazy on you. But you want to get all of that stuff on the bottom all nice and taken care of, and incorporated and dissolved. So just keep on sloshing until all that stuff is out of there. It might take a little bit, but you ideally want to get every bit of that sugar out of there. You see that's nice and totally brown on the bottom there. So there we go. Now I've got a pretty intense root beer there. So I'm going to put that back on and fill it up. Now you want to fill it up to about as full as it is in a grocery store. You don't want it all the way filled to the top, because then the carbonation process is going to create so much CO2 in there that it's going to threaten to burst the bottle, which would be very icky and messy. So you pour it up to where there's about 1 inch of space at the top, roughly. Again, you can feel safe to eyeball this. There we go. That's good enough. And that's filled up pretty much at the top there. Now this gets capped and put in a comparatively cool, comparatively dark place for 3 days or more. Basically, this is going to start to produce carbon dioxide. It's going to start to carbonate, and as that happens, you need to let it be somewhere where it can do that. And you need to test the bottle after about 3 days. Just squeeze the side. Just squeeze the side like this. And if the bottle is very firm, like right now it's almost like it's an empty bottle. It kind of squishes. If it's nice and firm, then it's done carbonated. You can put it in the fridge. If you leave it out too long, it's going to keep carbonating, and it might burst. Bad thing. So if you can, or not if you can, definitely check this after 3 days and every day thereafter. The amount of time varies depending on all sorts of factors. But start checking the bottle, and if it's nice and firm, put it in the fridge. And then you've got root beer. You can uncap it and start drinking from it right then. Again, vary the amount of sugar to affect the sweetness. You should theoretically be able to do the same thing for other sweeteners, stuff like orange extract. You can get from the store, make orange soda. You can make ginger ale. So play around, but that's all you have to do.